Hello. In this tutorial, we are going to continue with our Linux commands, where I show you some of the basic commands you could use if you are using Linux. Even if you are working with Mac OS, for example, most of these commands also work there. What I'm using here is Ubuntu, which is running in a Docker container. But it's basically the same. So this is a second segment of our tutorial. And now I'm going to go on and start with some of the commands that we are going to run. Now, we are going to start off by creating more directories, and I'm going to show you different ways you could create directories. Also, I'm going to show you different ways you could create files. In the previous tutorial, we created directories by first of all using the command make directory. Then we gave our directory a name. For example, let's say one directory. But you can actually create so many directories at the same time. For example, let's say we want to create a directories. Let's say directory 1, directory 2, directory 3. So you can count as many times as you want. So with this command, let's hit enter. Now let us list it. Now, as you can see, these are the 3 directories that we just created there. So what we learned here, obviously I made a mistake here. This should be dir, but it doesn't really matter. So with this one command, we were able to create 3 different directories. If you wish, there are different other ways also you can do the same thing. So what we can do, let's use our change directory command to get into one of those directories. So let us use directory 1, for instance. Now we are inside directory 1, which is empty. Let's clear the screen for now. So now that we are inside of this directory, we can actually use similar command to create different amount of files at the same time. For example, if you remember the command to create a file, you can use the command touch. So let us say file 1, file 2, file 3, so you can keep on counting. So let's create these 3 files inside of this directory. If we list it again, or let's use the up arrow to find it. If we list it again, we are going to find all the 3 files that we just created inside of this directory. At the same time, if you would want to remove these files that we created inside of this directory, for example, you can do the same. For example, instead of retyping it, let me use this back arrow again. I'm going to delete this and then use the appropriate command, which is rm. Rm stands for remove, so you use it to remove files. So let's hit enter. Now the file is gone. So if we list again, you will see that our folder directory 1 is empty again. There are a couple of things I'm going to show you now. Let us recreate our file again. Let's recreate the files that we had. So now we have again 3 files inside of here. We can actually move these files or copy these files into a different directory. If you remember, we created directory 1 and directory 2 and directory 3. So now that we are inside of this directory, we can move some of these files or all of them into a different directory. So let us do copy. For example, to copy something, you use cp, which is copy. Now we can list our files. Let's say that we want to copy file 1 into a different directory. Let's say the directory would be now we are looking at the different directories that we have, but what we want to do is to move this single file into directory 2. So let's say directory 2. So we copy file 1 into directory 2. You hit enter. Now we can move into that directory to check our file. Change directory. That's what we are doing now. Change directory. As you can see, now we have left directory 1. We are now in directory 2. So what we are going to do, let's see what we've got in our directory now. Let us list it. Now we have our directory 1. Sorry, we have our file 1 inside of directory 2, which was empty. If we move back to our directory, the directory 1, for example, let's list it, you will find that we still have all our files there, right? Because what we just did was to copy file 1 into directory 1. So we have file 1, we copied file 1 into directory 2. So we have file 1 in directory 1 and in directory 2. We can also move these files into a different directory. For instance, we do not want to have these files in directory 1 anymore. We want to move them into directory 3. So in that case, we can use the command move. Let's use our back arrow again. Let's say, but to move now, you use the command mv. You use mv, we want to move this into directory. What did we call it earlier? It's di3. So let's move it into move these files into di3. You hit enter. Now look at what's going to happen. Let us list our directory 1. You see, directory 1 is now empty. Why? Because what we did was to move these files into directory 3. So what we need to learn here is we have the command copy, which is cp, which copies the command. Then we have mv, which is move. So move moves the content or whatever you want to move the files into directory 3. So when it moves it, it deletes it. So these are two different options that you have. So if you want to delete those contents entirely and move them elsewhere, you use the move command. Now let us get into directory 3. Directory 3, cd, remember it's a change directory. We move into directory 3. If you look at this, we are now in directory 3. Let us list what we've got there. Now this is where our files are. So they are no longer in directory 1, but they are now in directory 3. You see? So this is how you can use these very simple commands to do a lot of things. So what we can do again now, let us clear our screen in order to have room for other things. Another important command that is very useful is, for instance, now we have used so many commands. and we want to know what commands we have used. So there is a command, if I should call it so, called history. When you hit enter, when you type history, you hit enter, history is going to show you all the commands. You remember this was the last command we typed, history. So it shows you all the commands you've used. So over the course of this tutorial, the first series and this one, we have used 72 commands in our Linux terminal. So I hope this tutorial is clear. I try to make it as simple as possible for those who are learning to use this tool. And if you found it helpful, can I ask you to subscribe to my channel, to like and to share as I keep on providing you with very simple tutorials. Thank you for watching.